And so let's blame our fat gain on hydrogen and carbon and various atoms. Sounds so much better. I don't overeat. I just have too many atoms stored in my body. Coach Greg, in today's video, counting calories is dumb. The science of fat loss. Well, at least in the opinion of Dr. Ken Berry. And so I've watched the video and I've decided two things. This guy's probably best friends with Bart K. And he's probably on a carnivore diet. And so first things first, counting calories is dumb. Well, it's kind of dumb if you don't know how to do it. You're not good at math. You can't properly add up calories. And remember, it's very difficult to accurately calculate how many calories you're really eating. Labels lie. It's hard to estimate how much you're eating. You may not have a scale. And so if you're not losing weight, there's one guaranteed thing that's happening. You're not in a calorie deficit. And so to say counting calories doesn't work, you're wrong. Counting calories works every single time, no matter what. But Coach Greg, I watched that video. She counted calories for 3 years, never lost any weight. And then she stopped counting calories, lost 15 pounds in 2 months. That's because she counted them wrong. She wasn't actually in a deficit. If you're in a deficit, you're guaranteed going to lose weight. And if you're not losing weight, you're eating at maintenance.
Counting calories is dumb. And in this video, I'm going to give you a new way to think about this.
And so the reason this doctor has so many fans is because he treats his subs like morons, kind of like Coach Greg. He knows that people have no clue what they're doing. They don't understand anything. And so what he says, well, he just confuses them. He says things that seem to make sense if you don't know what you're talking about, if you're uneducated. But if you actually understand the science, if you know what's actually going on, you realize that he's just trying to trick you. He doesn't actually make sense. And so let's go over the rest of his video.
Now, if you listen to many healthcare and nutrition gurus out there, they'll say it's simple. You just have to eat less and move more.
He states nutrition gurus are saying it's simple. You eat less, move more. And so the problem with that statement, although it's true, it's not easy to move more and eat less. If everyone could just move more and eat less, everyone would lose weight. It really is that simple. But last I checked, how many of you want to do more cardio this week? And how many of you enjoy going on a diet? And so because people don't want to move more or eat less, it's very difficult. And so people are looking for the shortcut, the magic trick to help them lose weight without doing what obviously is going to work. If you all start doing cardio and eating fewer calories, all of you, every single one is going to lose weight. For example, I rode my bike last night. I burned off 1,580 calories. I lost weight. I ate everything I wanted till I was full satisfied. And I lost weight. Why? Because I burnt more calories than I ate. And so it really is that simple, but the problem is we don't want it to be simple. We don't want to move more and we don't want to eat less. Hence why counting calories for many doesn't work. If they counted them and ate less or burnt more of them off, of course it would work.
Right off the bat, I'm gonna play you a little clip here and I want you to listen to this. And then we're going to talk about why all of this is dumb.
I want to talk to you guys today.
Oh, it's Jillian Michaels.
If we eat more energy than we burn in a day, we will store that energy as fat.
Right off the bat, that's a completely ignorant statement.
Why do you have to be so pedantic? Dr. Ken Berry, why are you being pedantic? The excess calories that you eat are stored as body fat, which contain energy. Just because she states body fat is stored energy doesn't mean she's wrong. Body fat is stored mass, which has energy. Are you really going to get that pedantic? Oh, yes, I am, says Dr. Ken Berry. And why? Well, because my followers are so stupid, they don't understand the difference between what I'm saying and what she's saying. You're saying the same thing.
Fat is stored tissue. It is mass. It is made up of molecules and atoms.
With energy. When you gas up your car, you put it in fuel. That fuel gets burnt. It produces the energy for your car to move. And so if I say I'm putting energy in my car, no, you're not. You're putting in gas. Yeah, but the gas has the energy. So technically, you're fueling up your car to give you the energy. And so when you eat food, you're fueling your body with food, which has energy. When you eat food, you're giving yourself energy. No, it's not energy. It's mass. Yeah, we get it. But it's the same dang thing.
It's not stored energy. That is a completely inaccurate way to describe what fat actually is.
Completely inaccurate. It's so far off. The fat has no energy in it. And stored body fat, it's not stored energy. It's stored mass. Well, that mass has energy. And so if you're overweight, obese, morbidly obese, you have a shit ton of stored energy.
The fat stored on your butt, The fat stored on your thighs, in your belly, in your liver, is that stored energy?
Yes, it is. The fat stored in your ass is stored energy. It's stored energy in the form of fat.
But it can be dissipated as body heat. It can be dissipated in a number of different ways as both chemical energy and other forms of energy. It's not mass.
So what is he going on about? He's saying all things that every one of us believes in, that this fat has the stored energy, and it breaks it apart, releases the energy, and then you can move. And so please tell me this guy's not going to start ranting like Bart K and saying it's heat in, heat out. Oh, you can't lose weight unless you cut off your arms.
Several ways you can lose weight without being in a calorie deficit. Number one, you can surgically have parts of your body removed, Gregory.
We get that. But the excess calories that you eat above and beyond what you burn, it gets stored as body fat. That's why people who consistently overeat, they end up morbidly obese. They consistently are eating too many calories. Those excess calories are not burnt off. It's stored as body fat. That's how it works.
And it looks like this. Now, what does this thing measure? Does it measure energy or does it measure mass?
Notice he's giving the finger to the scale. Do you know why he's doing that? Because many of you watching this are overweight and you hate the scale because why? Because it reminds you that you're overweight. It's quantifying the fact that you are overeating, that you're not burning enough of the calories that you're eating off. It's showing you proof that you need to either eat less or move more, but you don't want to do that. You don't like it. Why? Well, it could be because you're lazy, because you don't want to move, you don't enjoy it, and because you're very hungry. I don't want to eat less. I'm starving all the time. And so rather than hating on the scale, why don't we just listen to it and try to do something about it? Oh, but that's too much work. I prefer just eating crap, ordering out, and not giving two shits about all the fat, calories, and sugar that I'm eating. I just want to keep doing what I'm doing and magically lose weight. And so because of that, I'm going to watch Dr. Ken Berry because he's going to tell me that the scale sucks, that it's a bad thing, and that we don't actually store calories. We store mass.
Now, energy does not have any mass that we currently know about.
But energy is in the mass. I mean, how pedantic do you have to get? How stupid do you think your subs and followers are to think that they're going to buy this? Well, Coach Craig, they are that stupid, and they are that moronic, and they are in fact going to believe and buy into this. Sorry. And seeing as he's got 66,000 views on this and most of the comments are agreement with him, well, he did in fact fool thousands of you.
So when you say, oh, if you eat so many calories, that's going to become so many pounds of fat, that is also an ignorant statement.
And so he's saying if you eat thousands of excess calories, it's suddenly going to become stored in our body. Yep, it is. But he's saying, no, it's not. It's not your fault. You should be able to just eat everything you want, and you could be at your ideal weight. It's not how it works.
And we do not store energy as fat.
And so he says, we do not store energy as fat. Yet if you overeat calories, those excess calories get stored as fat, which have energy. And so yes, we do. We store energy as fat. And so if you step on the scale and you gain 10 pounds of fat, those 10 pounds of fat have 3,500 times 10, that's 35,000 extra calories. And so to remove those 10 pounds of fat, you have to be in a deficit by 35,000 calories. That will allow you to burn off those 10 extra pounds and get you back down to baseline. That is how it works. Calories in, calories out.
Fat is made up of carbon atoms and a few other assorted atoms. That's what causes that number on the scale to go much higher than you'd like for it to go.
And so what sounds easier? Those of you who have low self-esteem and you don't like the fact that you're overweight, what sounds better? That you gained 10 pounds because you ate too many calories or because you stored a bunch of atoms? And so let's blame our fat gain on hydrogen and carbon and various atoms. Sounds so much better. I don't overeat. I just have too many atoms stored in my body. Really? I mean, come on, people. Are you that gullible? Are you that naive? Oh, I don't overeat. I don't under-exercise. I just store too many atoms.
1,000 calories of ribeye is much different than 1,000 calories of Lucky Charms.
And so here's the thing. 1,000 calories of ribeye and 1,000 calories of Lucky Charms do offer the exact same thing. 1,000 calories, as in the energy. But how our bodies decide to use those 1,000 calories, it's obviously going to be different. When you eat 1,000 calories of ribeye, some of those calories are protein and can get used to build muscle. Not only that, to get that energy out of that ribeye, the body burns off a lot of those calories as heat. And so think of it, you eat that ribeye, you have workers in your stomach, and they're going chop, chop, chop. Chop down that ribeye. It's too big. We need to break it down. Chop, 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 chop. And while chopping, they're burning calories. You get hot and sweaty, you eat a big meal, you're sweating. That's excess calories that your body's burning by digesting that food. And in comparison, when you eat Lucky Charms, it doesn't have to chop as much. It's laid back a little bit, burns fewer of those calories.
You have to look at, what is this food going to do to my hormone levels, to my levels of inflammation, to my levels of insulin and glucagon.
Regardless of all of that, you still need to be in a deficit to lose weight. You can't just eat anything and everything that you want. Like Bart Kay said, he ate 6,000 plus so-called earth calories a day and still lost 15 pounds. And remember, he did this while being, 5'6", 145 pounds, a 6,000 plus calorie diet. And if you are on planet Earth or anywhere in this universe that I'm aware of, you still need to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight.
Fat is not stored energy. Fat is stored atoms.
And so you're arguing about ridiculous, it's foolish, you're being pedantic, you're trying to confuse your audience into thinking that it's not calories in, calories out, when, of course, it actually is in the real world.
And what tells your body to store more food as fat is the chemical signal, the hormonal signal, the inflammatory signal.
Or he could have said what causes your body to store this excess energy as body fat is a calorie surplus. If you're in a calorie surplus, all these chemicals and all this is going on, it's going to store those extra calories as body fat. That's how it works. And the reason for that is because fat is very energy dense. Fat has 9 calories per gram. In comparison, carbs, protein, only 4. And so if you're carrying a bunch of extra muscle, there's a lot less energy in that extra muscle. It is in comparison to that extra fat. Fat is only 3% water. The rest, it's fat. And muscle in comparison, we're talking 70 to 80% water. And so think of it from an evolutionary standpoint. Having a lot of stored body fat, it's an advantage. You have a whole lot of energy and it doesn't weigh a lot, and that can allow you to survive times of famine. Perhaps it's the winter, you don't have access to food, and so this stored body fat, not only keeping you warm in the winter, it's also giving you a lot more energy. And so if it were not for body fat, we wouldn't exist. We need this stored energy. What if you don't eat for a while? Days go by, you'd be dead. If we didn't have this fat as energy, we wouldn't be able to survive. And so although we see fat as a bad thing, you do need some fat in order to exist.
This is why when people go on a very low carbohydrate diet, a ketogenic diet, a ketovore diet, a carnivore diet, they burn fat so much more easily.
And regardless of if you're on a keto, carnivore, low carb, high carb, any diet, no matter what you want to take, what makes it work is the calorie deficit. The greater the deficit, the more you're going to lose. That's how it works. And so don't think after watching his video that suddenly you have to go on a keto diet or never eat fruits and vegetables, just go carnivore. Whatever diet allows you to be in a deficit, whichever one that is, that's the one you should follow.
While still being able to eat until they're comfortably stuffed, than people who are trying to starve themselves on a calorie restriction diet or a portion control diet.
And so the way he words it, it kind of tricks you into thinking this. Well, in comparison to a diet where you're starving yourself, eating a diet where you're stuffed, it's easier to follow the diet. Well, obviously. But that doesn't mean you have to be on a keto or carnivore diet to feel that way. For example, for me, eating a high protein, high fiber diet with low calorie dense foods, of all the foods that I enjoy, I just make them lower in calories like in my cookbook. That's the easiest way for me to maintain or lose weight. I tried keto in the past, hated it, but that's just me. Doesn't mean you can't do that diet. Whatever diet you can follow for the rest of your life that you feel good on, that's the diet you should follow.
And so that's the main takeaway message is, when you get on the bathroom scale, you're measuring mass. You're measuring atoms in your body. You're not measuring energy.
Who freaking cares? That's not the main takeaway message. The main takeaway message should be calories in, calories out, regardless of how you want to do it. You have to be in a deficit to lose weight.
If you weigh yourself on the scale, then you drink a liter of water, then you weigh yourself again, the scale will show a difference of exactly the weight of 1 liter of water.
I mean, yeah, we get it. There's no calories in water, but if you drink a liter of it, you're going to gain weight. And then when you pee it out, you're going to lose weight. But we don't care. We all get that. You're not talking to 6-year-olds. These are actually adults. Come on, give the people some credit. They know that there's no calories in water, and they know if you drink water and you get on the scale, it's going to go up. They know this. I mean, raise your hand if you didn't know that. You didn't know that if you drink water and then once you pee it out, that your weight goes back to normal. That drinking water isn't going to make you fat. How many people watching this right now thought, if I drink too much water, I'm going to get fat? No one thought that. And so why are you teaching such obvious nonsense? It's not useful information to everyone. We already know this.
But when you eat high carbohydrate foods that are inflammatory, it's not that you ate too much food. It's not that you ate too many calories.
Yes, it is. It is exactly that. If you eat carbohydrates, I don't care how inflammatory or non-inflammatory they are, and if you eat a surplus of them, you're going to increase body fat. And you can call it increase atoms, you can call it increase mass, but all that extra body fat that you're storing, it's in fact energy from eating too many calories. I don't care if it's from carbohydrates, fat, protein, it doesn't matter. The Rock knows it doesn't matter.
When you get on the scale, if what you're wanting to see is a lower number, then you need to stop the foolishness of trying to count calories and restrict calories.
You move more and eat less. It really is that simple. Problem is, it's not that simple. Why? Because people don't want to move more and they don't want to eat less. But that's how you do it. Literally, that's exactly how you do it.
You need to start eating very low carbohydrate food that is uninflammatory and tweaks your hunger hormones to keep your hunger turned off for a long time.
And so the funny thing is, what he just stated in that sentence is exactly why my cookbook works. You're eating low-calorie dense foods. It's lots of fiber, high in protein. It's going to help you to feel satiated, full. The volume of food is plentiful. You're not eating schmuck, tiny little servings. You're eating a lot of food. You're full. Your ghrelin, it's going to go down. You're not going to be as hungry because you're eating till you're satisfied. That's my diet. So what he's actually saying is if you follow Coach Greg's diet, you're going to lose weight. Why did you say so, Ken Berry? Why make it so complicated? Acting like it's not calories in, calories out. Acting like you have to go keto carnivore. You could have just said, go follow Coach Greg, go pick up a cookbook 2.0, and you're going to lose weight. And one thing I'm very disappointed he doesn't describe is that if you exercise more, you're going to burn off more calories. You make it much easier to lose weight.
We know without doubt that if I lock you in my barn and I feed you 500 calories of food a day, you're going to lose weight, but you're also going to be ravenously hungry.
Really? And so I'm painting for you for the rest of your life, eating 500 calories a day, stuck in a barn, starving, having brain fog, lower testosterone levels, feeling like garbage. Or do I state you should try, if you're a male, to have 15% body fat, females 25% body fat, remain at a healthy body fat percentage for you, eat a balanced and healthy diet. You can actually get a free diet and training program over 50 pages from me by clicking the link in the description, first and last name, and enter your email address. And so I'm trying to help everyone out. If you have no money, you can get the program for free. You can eat all the foods that you love. We just make them lower in calories. And you have to strive to get 150 minutes of cardio a week. It's been shown in the research to improve quality and quantity of life. And so if you're overweight and or obese, it's certainly not going to make you healthier. Healthy at every size? Well, no, not really. If you're morbidly obese, you're not going to be as healthy as if you were to lose the weight.
Well, the beauty of a proper human diet is you don't have to starve yourself. You get to eat human appropriate food that is delicious, and you get to eat it until you're comfortably stuffed.
And so think of it. You're listening to this video and he's like, oh, you don't have to starve yourself. You can just eat anything you want. You know, human appropriate diet. And what he's referring to is just eating meat. When people are on a carnivore diet, they're not eating fruits and vegetables. And so say goodbye to your apples and bananas, peas and corn, because, well, those are carbohydrates, inflammatory. Oh my goodness, pesticides, bad. Just eat meat all day long. Eat as much as you want. And so feel free to watch Dr. Ken Berry. He makes some sense. He's just trying to twist things around to make it seem like calories in, calories out doesn't work. Or you could just continue to watch me. I'm going to continue to tell it like it is. I'm not going to BS you. I'm going to tell you the actual science, the actual research in the real world, and how you can apply it.
When you're full, you stop eating, and you don't eat again until you get truly hungry again. That, to me, sounds like a much preferable method for losing weight than slowly starving to death.
I mean, yeah, I'm going to give him that. It sounds more enjoyable to eat anything I want on a human-appropriate diet than starving to death in my shed. How many people preferred the shed-starving diet? I mean, it just doesn't exist. In the real world, no one's being forced to go in a shed to eat 500 calories a day. And in the real world, most people, they enjoy eating fruits and vegetables. Not everyone, of course. Perhaps 1% of the population likes the carnivore diet, and to them, so be it. Eat the carnivore diet. If that works for you, great.
So the next time you hear somebody say that fat is stored calories, you don't have to say anything. You can be very diplomatic and circumspect and just smile and nod knowingly.
Yeah, and so the next time somebody says calories in, calories out, you can just sit there and laugh because you'll know way better. You'll know that, no, that's not true, because when you eat and you store body fat, there's no energy in that. It's just atoms. It's just atoms. It's not extra calories. It's not your fault. You didn't overeat calories. You just overate atoms. Yeah, keep telling yourself yourselves that. Live in denial. The rest of you, watch Coach Greg get into shape of your life. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment for the algorithm. Like the video if you liked it. Don't forget to watch the bloopers. And of course, the cookbook, training book, coaching plans by me and my team, the Circle diet book, the clothing line, harder than last time supplements such as protein bars, protein powder, pre-workouts, everything going on. Also, Instagram, Greg Doucette IBU Pro. And until next time, I am out.